Hello everyone, you are very welcome to Grand Ireland Live. Just a quick disclaimer beforehand that if you do have the headphones next to you, it is worth putting them on when the main man Thomas starts speaking, because just with the noise everyone walking about is the best way to hear him. But you haven't come here to listen to me, you've come here to listen to Thomas talk, so about sustainability and green skills, and that's going to be presented by Dr. Thomas Macagno from the UCD Innovation Academy. And without further ado, I'll pass you on to Thomas.
Okay, thank you. Can you all hear me okay? Yeah, all right. So this would be, so we'll jump in. So I'm Tom Macagno, as he introduced. I guess it's worthwhile to also sort of just introduce my journey in sustainability. So I did my undergrad in international relations, and then I did an MBA, and then it's like when actually my oldest son was born, I decided sustainability was important, and I wasn't the activist type. I wasn't going to chain myself to a tree, but maybe I could use my business skills in sustainability. And so I did a PhD in sustainability. And then came out and I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. I still don't. And so I worked for a company as a sustainability manager and then head of sustainability. And then I decided I wanted to go back into academia and work there. So I guess the reason I tell you that story is there's no one black and white path for sustainability, and there are many different ways, and particularly in today's market that you'll come at it from many different angles, and every job effectively will need to have some sustainability aspect to it. So we have a video, but it doesn't work, so it's like we could sit here and pretend like it does and just go like this for the camera. But so what this is about, I guess I should go back because we see the little burning kangaroo there, and that when we hear a lot about sustainability, we hear doom and gloom, and it's kind of scary. But I guess I'm going to flip that on its head, and I'd say actually it's not doom and gloom, but it's boom. So opportunity boom, and it's like so what's changed? Because for the last at least 5 or 10 years, I can remember beyond that, it's just like sustainability and green skills. If you put the headphones on, or if maybe you can hear me, I don't know.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, it's fine. So what's changed, and this basically is a video, a really short clip on the EU Green Deal. And so one of the things that's changed is that governments are starting to get behind sustainability, and they're actually putting policies in place, and they're putting funding in place to push sustainability. So that's starting to give businesses and consumers and everyone confidence enough to go forward and implement plans. And even in America, they recently passed a big legislation. What was it? The Inflation Reduction Act. Makes no sense, the name, but it's like a big sustainability initiative that again is going to help push the green economy. As one of those underlying changes that have happened is the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, so related to the Green Deal. And why that's important is because it's going to require something like 50,000 companies in Europe, or companies operating in Europe, to report on sustainability initiatives. And so it's not just those companies, but companies that supply those companies are going to have to come in. It's like people that work in the companies are going to have to adapt. And also that it's not just about reporting, but they're going to want to see that they're lessening their impact. So the companies are going to have to change. So that one of the big things we're seeing why there's a big push on sustainability and green skills is because, again, we have the foundation to move forward with this. So we also see in Ireland has a climate action plan, and they passed the act. They've actually updated, this is the 21, but the 23. And I guess most significant is that Ireland wants to reduce its greenhouse gases by 50% by 2030. And if you think about that, that's only 7 years away. So that's a short period of time. And so just the amount of effort that's going to go in. And again, the government's putting structures in place. generating energy from different sources. It's thinking about energy efficiency, both in the built environment and also in the processes that run and how things are shipped, rethinking, how public transportation, all of these things are changing. And the good news is there's green skills needed and multiple skills needed to do this. At the same time, sort of to put this on a good note, that did anyone see how much energy in January was generated from wind farms for Ireland? So, interestingly enough, 41% of Ireland's energy in January came from wind farms. So in that sense, you see 50% and it seems scary, but actually, it can be achievable. So if we combine that with some other initiatives, that it's completely doable. So if we start to add all these up, there's an estimate, something like 20,000 new jobs are needed. It's just like to address it. And I would argue, as I've been saying the whole time, that not every job is going to say sustainability or green in it, but you just need the skills and you'll bring it in. So for example, with the reporting, if you're an accountant, you're going to play a big role in the CSRD, the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. And the other thing is, you saw that Ireland's we're looking to reduce our emissions, but it's not just by energy, but there's a Sustainable Energy Authority of Ireland. And they're engaging the public. They hire, not environmental, behavioral scientists to look at how to change people's behaviors and influence them. So again, it's not just if you have technical skills, but it's also if you have social skills or psychology or history or all of those different areas, or marketing, that come together. So they're going to be needed in all different sectors. That was rather quick. There we go. So this is, again, what's industry looking for coming out. They did a survey. So developing new skills in the workforce, improving use of resources in the supply chain, because we think about how simple things are, but COVID showed us how complex the supply chains are. And actually a lot of the work in being sustainable happens in the supply chain and not just in the companies themselves. Improving energy efficiency. Again, we talked a bit about that with the Climate Act. Innovation and productivity and distribution and marketing, and replacing fossil fuels and renewables. So these are all major areas that organizations, and when I say companies, it applies to the private sector also. Here in Ireland, again, private sector is expected to, public sector is expected to lead on that. And so, there we go. So then, where I'm from is Innovation Academy at UCD. So as the message I've been telling you, again, sustainability, it's like the problems are too complex for any one discipline. So a key skill is, it's like learning how to work together to solve it, because all different perspectives are needed. And so what's our mission? To transform education experience for the betterment of society and the economy. And I guess if you had to say, okay, what's it really mean in practice? That we look at three key things when we're engaging with students. So head, hands, and heart. So head, most of us have gone through traditional education and we get knowledge poured in our head. But at the same time, what we try to do is to give hands-on experience, that you're not just hearing the knowledge, but you're getting a chance to apply it. And then your heart is important too, so that you feel the confidence, that it's just like we're thinking of you as a whole person. It's just like on how you do this. And so in the sense that how we're looking at it and how we think education should look at it is to look at people as a whole, not just memorizing things to give back on an exam. So an area that we offer is a grad diploma in design thinking for sustainability. One exciting thing is it's on Springboard. It can be up to 100% funded. And we combine design thinking, as it says in the name, with sustainability. And why that's important, if you really think about it, how many people have had debates here with people about what sustainability means? Anyone? Yeah. And so and a lot of it just comes down to what your discipline is, or what your particular, dare say, political perspective even. And that will influence. And so it's a very abstract concept. And so the nice thing is, what we look at doing is combining it with design thinking, because it gives you a very structured way to look at it. And I don't know, how many people are familiar with design thinking? Yeah? Yeah, you. Designers. And so basically design thinking is a problem solving methodology. And why it combines well with sustainability, because it's human oriented. So if you really think about it, nobody has, and this is my opinion, nobody has a sustainability problem. I have a life problem, okay? But I need to solve it sustainably. So I still need to wash my clothes, but I need to do it in a sustainable manner. And so with design thinking, we don't start out thinking like, well, you have to reduce carbon emissions. It's like, we start out, it's just like, okay, what's the problem? And then how do we solve that problem in a sustained way? And again, it's working through the design thinking process. So when you leave, effectively, it's like understand sustainability from a perspective of science, business, society, and policy. So some people call policy governance. Understand and hear about contemporary issues and key trends from guest experts. Have a deep foundation in user-centered design and innovation. Develop, test viable, sustainable solutions to a real client. And literally, I just left. It's like the group, this year's cohort, and they go and they work with companies. So they'll do a 10-week project. So they're working with Hibernia Real Estate, Oxfam, Irish Life, and Urban Volt. And so they'll go out to these companies. The companies present them with a challenge, and then they work through it and try over 10 weeks to come up with a solution to it. And then, and they were practicing their pitches. So build skills in communicating, pitching, and leadership. And so, in a nutshell, where are we? That was the basis of my talk. That if you, again, sustainability, because it's like we have the push behind the government and the investment from the government and the laws, it's just like requiring different companies to do it. It's a big opportunity in a lot of different areas. And I think what's also key to realize about sustainability, it's just like now we're in a situation that sustainability offers you a job that can be really meaningful, purposeful, and also you can have a big impact. And again, it might not be that you're directly, have sustainability in your title, but you're an accountant and you have sustainability skills and you're applying it there, or you're an engineer and you have sustainability skills, or a marketing person, or UI designer. It's just like, and apply it. So I'll turn it over if people have questions or comments.